Hello, it's me once again on another video, and today we're looking at album number 3 in the Saxon Discography, and it is Strong Arm of the Law, released September 1980, genre heavy metal, length is 37 minutes and 5 seconds on Carrere Records. Now, Saxon after Wheels of Steel had different avenues they could have really went. They could have continued just doing what they were doing. They could have almost went more of a proggier route as the first album, or a more commercial route. Or they could have done an album where it's more like they're still developing their sound and continuing on with a lot of what they did on Wheels of Steel and even their debut album. And to me, it kind of felt like Saxon was still developing their sound, even though they are a very, by this point, successful band, as you put it, with a top 5 album. This is really, to me, a good record for Saxon. At this point consists of Biff Byford on vocals, Paul Quinn on guitars, Graham Oliver on guitar, Steve Dawson on bass, and the great Pete Gill on drums. Now, at least the copy I have is the Spotify version, which is the 2008 remastered. And it starts off with Heavy Metal Thunder. I know with the American and I believe Canadian version as well, it starts off with Dallas 1 p.m., but this one starts off in a whole different order, which I intend is really what they want to do, so I'll stick to the original release of this. Of Heavy Metal Thunder, I like the rain and lightning intro. I like the pace of the riff. I like the singing style, and shows off Big's vocal range and his intensity on the song Heavy Metal Thunder. I like the solo and the abrupt end to this song. On to song number 2, To Hell and Back. Again, I like the soaring feeling of the guitar intro with the bass underneath of it. I like the lyrics in the chorus. I love the frantic guitar solo with the drums in it. And it's a very, very catchy song, especially the To Hell and Back again chorus just really is very catchy. On to song number 3, Strong Arm of the Law. It's about an incident where the band was pulled over and searched by Margaret Thatcher security, or at least that's what Wikipedia says to it. I like the intro and bass underneath of it. Has more of a rock feel. Fits Biff's vocals more than maybe doing these soaring heavy metal anthems. It kind of feels more like rock. In between that rock and metal, he's very good, and it really fits his voice well, this song. I like the solo. Very melodic. Fits the song perfectly. Now, this isn't a song having a solo just for the sake of having a solo. It actually feels on the song like it really fits, and it was really well thought out and prepared. A very catchy chorus. I like the big ending to it. And that's that song. On to song number 4, Taking Your Chances. I like the intro. Has a very Motorhead-esque feel to the intro, sort of Ace of Spades. I like the singing style. I like the solo and its energy. Great tempo change. And what sounds like a dueling solo at the end, which is something Saxon has their twin guitar parts. But this is really, to me, one of the first times where we really hear a dueling guitar solo against one another. Sort of Uriah Heep-esque at times, where you heard that stuff. On to song number 5, 20,000 Feet. Typical intro for Saxon by this point. I like the singing style. I like the band quits as he sings the lyric, 20,000 feet. And then it comes right back in. I like the mini solo. I love the drumming on it. I love the frantic drums also near the end of the song. On to song number 6, Hungry Years. Now, the thing I like about this is I like how the last song fades right into this song. I like the racetrack intro. You can tell very much it's Saxon. It sounds like they're at a racetrack. I like the clean intro, a blues rock / metal beat to it, which is something out of Motorhead. I know they've done it, but it kind of feels like that blues rock, blues metal feel. I love Biff's voice on this. I like the tempo change into the solo. It's a very good foot tapping song. On to song number 7, Sixth Form Girls, sorry about that. I like the riff, I like the vocals and lyrics, the tempo change. I love the solo and the feel to it, and just love how it fades, but it also has a great energy about it, which is something I've always liked about Saxon, is just their energy throughout an album. On to song number 8, and the final song of the album, Dallas 1 p.m. It's about the assassination of JFK, the American president who was assassinated in 1963, I believe. I like how it fades into the drums, and then drums, like 2 riffs are playing off of one another. You have one kind in the background, and then one more in the foreground. I love the bass. Has very kind of a pop metal, very more radio friendly sound, I guess you could say, for this song. I love the vocal delivery and the lyrics. I like the abrupt tempo change, how it's like, and he was shot, and it's like, bam, it's done, there's nothing, and then you get into this clean guitar with this radio playing in the background of like actual broadcast of the JFK assassination, what was being said on the radio. And it builds into a really great solo, and I just love the chorus throughout the song. And that is Strong Arm of the Law. To me, at this point, Saxon's best work. I really enjoyed this. I actually like this more than Wheel of Steel. I think it has a little bit more dynamics to it. It's not as reliant on just... It's a very riffy album, I guess you could say, but it isn't reliant on it. It does have its moments. One part I wish that Saxon would have done around this point is maybe do some acoustical songs. I know it doesn't fit the heavy metal thing, but it could have really worked out. I think they could have pulled it off. This album, to me, is a little bit more rock than it is metal, but it still has that distinct Saxon sound, which is very... to me, keeps the band tight. Like, it's not, they're not going off in many different directions. It's not really a far departure from the sound. It wouldn't be like Metallica going from a song like Whiplash or Master of Puppets, or even throw in, what's that one, Seek and Destroy, into like doing classical acoustical ballads. It's just something that would be way too far. Saxon, I think, did the smart thing and kept it where they did. Now, this album went number 11 in the UK, went number 37 in Sweden, which is big for the band. So you have 2 top 20 albums in the same year. What that shows labels, and especially the record industry, is that this band does have a decent following, a very good following, and that their releases are doing very well in the charts. Musically, it still is great to listen to, go back. I can see where people listen to this and say, oh my god, it's pretty much same over and over and over again. I say that's consistency. That's a very consistent thing. They know their sound, they know what they want to do. If I had to give this a grade out of 5, to me, I'll give it 5 out of 5. I think this is a stellar record. One of Saxon's best. I have to say, I love this record to really listen to. I'll say, if highly recommended to anybody that hasn't heard Saxon, listen to this record. But anyway, that's my review here. Be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe down below. This is me signing out. Peace and rock on.